So on the one hand, right, you've got Rush, who were in a really desperate place in their life, both financially and emotionally, and decided to channel all of that into this absolute fucking opus where it was blood, sweat and tears, and they poured everything into it, and they were like, this is either going to make us or break us, but this is our last hurrah. This is basically, we stand up and we fucking fight. And then in the other corner, you've got Yes. Hi guys, it's markabusi here, and we're back with something kind of special today. We are doing the Prog party, where two bands enter the Thunderdome with a prog song of their choice, and only one song comes out alive. Today, we're doing 2112 by Rush, and we're doing Close to the Edge by Yes. We're going to listen to them. We're then going to score them on 5 separate categories, and those categories are guitar wankery, harmonic complexity, song length versus boredom, conceptual boldness, and then fan base participation, which is where basically I take how you guys react to me and I use that to then score how I react to that band. So basically, and I feel a wee bit bad because I've no been preemptive in telling you this, but the more that you guys are assholes, the more that I dislike the band. So, for example, it is unbelievable the burning hatred that I have for Avenged Sevenfold, and if you don't understand why, go and look at the comment section on the only Avenged Sevenfold video to have made it to this channel. Before we go in and start, we're going to start with 2112. Before we go in, we're going to watch wee intros for each of those songs by the band to see, like, what was going through their fucking heads when they were making it, maybe what the song's about. I don't know what the intro actually tells me, but it's going to give me like a wee bit of background information on these songs. Which is great, fine, because, you know, it's not as if the song's only fucking long enough already. Let's go and protract it even more by adding in extraneous information that I'm going to forget 20% of the way through this fucking song. But yeah, guys, welcome to the bloodbath. Let me know in the comments below, at this exact point in time, what one are you rooting for? Who do you think's going to win? Stick around to the end of the video to find out.
That was a terrible winter. I had no money. I was sleeping on a friend's couch. Things couldn't have been bleaker, really. The record company, everybody was, oh, we're going to have to be more commercial here and think about some singles, and just leaning on us at our weakest.
We talked about how we would rather go down fighting than try to make the kind of record.
No, I don't. Yeah.
That was a terrible winter. I had no money. I was sleeping on a friend's couch. Things couldn't have been bleaker, really. The record company, everybody was, oh, we're going to have to be more commercial here and think about some singles, and just leaning on us at our weakest.
We talked about how we would rather go down fighting than try to make the kind of record they wanted us to make. We made 2112 figuring everyone would hate it, but we were going to go out in a blaze of glory.
We all decided that we would rather go back to our jobs, working on a farm or working as a plumber's mate for my dad or whatever, than give in and just be something that everybody else wants us to be.
We did summon that strength of character to say, no, we won't do that. We're doing it our way, and if this is the last hurrah, fine. You know, back to the farm equipment dealership for me. It was a big no. No, we're not doing any of that. No, you can't tell us what to do. And no, we don't care. The nature of the story itself that evolved in 2112, of course, was the individual against the mass. And that album did communicate and reach people on a level that just blossomed outward by the classic form of word of mouth. Obviously, the opening 20-minute piece did not get played on the radio.
I don't understand how it didn't get played on the radio, to be honest with you, but right, okay, so basically, the radio the executives at their bat told them, be more commercial, please, and they went, nah, fuck yourselves. And as much as that is admirable, for what I'm hearing, as it goes on, then, like, as Rush goes on, they got more commercial. So in the long run, who's right? I'm going to say the record company. See, you know what would have been nice though, right? If, so, just off the top of my head as an idea, right? Now, I don't own a record company. I'm not an expert. But see if somebody running about the making of the first album had said to them, you might want to get a singer in that's got a voice that humans would like to listen to. There have been no need for any of this 2112 push. They wouldn't need to push back against the record company because they wouldn't have been sleeping on each other's couches. They'd have been doing absolutely fine because everybody would have really enjoyed their early stuff. Sorry, I'm joking. How can you? It's a wee joke. It's just a wee joke, guys. 2112. Hold on, because you guys won't be able to read this. I lie awake, staring out at the bleakness of Megadon City, and no, hold on. I lie awake, staring out at the bleakness of Megadon. City and sky become one, merging into a single plane, a vast sea of unbroken grey. The twin moons, just two pale orbs as they trace their way across the steely sky. I used to think I had a pretty good life here, just plugging into my machine for the day, then watching Tempo Vision or reading a Tempo paper in the evening. My friend John always said it was nicer here than under the atmospheric domes of the outer planets. We have had peace since 2062, when the surviving planets were banded together under the red star of the Solar Federation. The less fortunate gave us a few new moons. I believed what I was told. I thought it was a good life. I thought I was happy. Then I found something that changed it all. What an absolute bunch of fucking bullshit science fiction pish was that. Let's go. Is this the lyrics? Have I just spoiled the story for everybody? That's pretty cool. The wee fade and delay thing was really cool. See, all this bit's cool as fuck. It's just, at some point he's gonna start singing. here's the thing, right? He hasn't sung a fucking note so far, and musically, it's so. It sound. I mean, right? I could be wrong here. Probably wrong, but it musically sounds like it's very much uniquely Rush, but also doesn't. It sounds like Rush at a slightly different level for what I'm used to hearing for them. And I suspect, right, a lot of, I think our big problem is I've been listening to a lot of the early stuff, and there's a lot more kind of layering and stuff happening on this. Like, there's more guitars than what there normally is in a Rush song. Because there is. The rhythm guitars is in there whilst the lead's playing on the top of it and stuff like that, and it's giving it a more kind of full sound. The drums sound much better than what they normally do, and it's it's all sounding a lot more full. It's also sounding very science fictiony. As opposed, like normally it's just kind of like hard rock with some screechy fucking owl over the top, and this one is giving me very definite like War of the Worlds vibes. Which I think it was Jeff Wayne who did that. It's giving me that kind of vibe though. I think it's like the synth work in there across with the hard rock. It's yeah. But at the moment, it's also none of the bits are overstaying their welcome. It's constantly changing. It's really fucking musically complex with the timings, especially. It's showing off the like Neil Peart's drumming more so than I think I've heard beforehand. But yeah, it's fucking good. I really like this wee switch up because it just the energy of it was crazy. This fits cool, and then it just goes metal. Okay, here we go. What's happening? No screechy. Going for it. Right. I'm gonna stop it, right? Because here's what I want to do, right? I'm gonna try and break the song down as I'm doing it. And if I get it wrong, then just allow me to get it wrong, but allow me to kind of figure that out as I'm going along. And then by the end of the song, if I'm completely off base with what I think the song's about, then fine. But I, at the moment, I'm thinking this is an allegory for where they are in their life at the moment, musically. So I'm seeing like the priest of the Temple of Syrinx as being like the record company who basically like they're holding all the information, they're holding like all everything that like they're holding all the knowledge, and they're like what we decide is right is what's right. And then I suspect it's then going to be a case of like whoever the fuck turns out to be the protagonist say this, it's all about them like breaking free the constraints that the temple's placed on like the modern man, and then as exampled by them writing a 20-minute long song. And I think, but they've also, I think it's a case, so it's like one of the things where it's like, okay, so they've taken their feelings about how like the record company is trying to control them by going, we've got this power and influence, and and you need to do as we tell you because we can control the wider outcome for you as a band, but also then like taking that to its logical conclusion when it comes to like say like fascist states and stuff in a kind of 1984 type way, but then filtering that through the lens of science fiction to be kind of like Star Wars, where it's like your like evil empire that's holding all the wealth and the what's the word I'm looking for? Like for like the word for like crops and stuff like that. Like all the stuff and filtering that out to like the kind of common people. And I think Rush are basically saying that's complete and utter bullshit. But yeah, that's my takeaway at the moment. This is what I suspect it's about, but I'll obviously that might adjust as I get further on through the song. But that's where it seems like it's gone. Okay. So I think right, so now we're on to part 3, which will be Discovery, I'm guessing. Oh, there we go. I'm on fucking all this. I'll tell you right now, that is not one long song, because I very much had a very definite let's stop and start a new song. Just saying. This is very definitely a new song. Out of tune. It's out of tune. It's in tune now. I do like a wee harmonic. Right, so basically, what this is about the protagonist for the story escaping the kind of like clutches of fascism and discovering music. See, right, so in a metaphorical sense, it's basically about him discovering beauty. It's very, very, right, so it's similar in a lot of ways to 1984 when Winston leaves he leaves London and follows Julia out into the outskirts into like a village and has sex with her, and that's him that's him discovering like because he's had sex not before, but it's him discovering how best to phrase it, like passion for the first time, and I think it's the same kind of thing, but it's like this is like musical passion and kind of like musical beauty and artistry, but basically anything that stands against the ideals of fascism, because fascism tends to kind of stamp down creativity and like imagination, because you can't have imagination in a fascist society, because fascism's built on fear and like fear of people turning against it, and you can't turn against a fascist ideal if you don't imagine turning against a fascist ideal. And if you can't imagine a better life than what you're currently living, then you never rebel. So I think this is why this is like a turning point for the song, which is also why they've went and ducked out today and all the kind of heavy rock stuff and just went for like really pretty acoustic type guitar. So it's nice that the music is also telling the story as well as the story.
What can this strange device be?
It's a guitar, mate.
When I touch it, it gives forth a sound. It's got wires that vibrate and give music.
If only guitar was that easy to
What
play,
can this thing be that I've found?
just fucking pick up and it turns out I'm the next Hendrix.
See how it sings like a sad heart and joyously screams out its pain. Sounds that build high like a mountain on notes that fall gently like rain.
You know what, right? See there, right? Geddy's voice was legitimately beautiful there. High, but the high pitched voice isn't the problem. It's the screeching that he does. There, when he's actually singing really pretty, that was fucking beautiful. It was legitimately gorgeous.
See how it sings like a sad heart and joyously screams out its pain. Sounds that build high like a mountain on notes that fall
That note's gorgeous.
gently like rain.
But that's actually fucking beautiful.
I can't wait to share this new wonder
Ah, he's wrong. That's not going to be how this goes. Right, part 4. To catch everybody up, it's part 4. He's now gone to let them all ken that he's discovered the true way forward. And we're going to see how it goes. It's a wee bit like, so see how when Jesus discovered Christianity and went, I'm off to tell the Romans that I've discovered that actually yous are all wrong and I know God quite well because I'm his boy. Nothing bad can come for this. And it didn't. Everybody lived happily ever after. It's been a utopia ever since. It's going to be the same here. Big man's got a fucking acoustic on his back. What can go wrong? Let's see. He's also discovered a distortion pedal.
I know it's most unusual to come before you so, but I found an ancient miracle I thought that you should know. Listen to my music and hear what it can do. There's something here as strong as life. I know that it will reach you. Yes, we know it's nothing new. It's just a waste of time. Not no need for ancient.
Sorry, I fucking shit myself there. It's fucking absolutely no warning that cunt was about to do that. That. Leave me. I take every positive thing I just said about his singing. I take it fucking right the fuck back. Sorry, I'm joking. How can you? It's a wee joke. It's just a wee joke, guys. See the priest in this, by the way. I see what he's doing. He's making me hate the priest, right? He's making me want to hate the priest, and it's successful. He's doing it. Every time the priest comes on, I'm like, oh, cunt, oh god, this cunt's about to start singing. That was mental.
As strong as life, I know that it will reach you. Yes, we know it's nothing new. It's just a waste of time. Not no need for ancient ways. The world is doing fine. Another toy. Help destroy down the race of man. Forget about your silly web. It doesn't fit the plan. No, I can't believe you're saying these things just can't be true. Our world could use this beauty. Just think what we might do. Listen to my music. Hear what it can do. There's something here that's as strong as life. I know that it will reach you. Thousand millions further. Oh, we have our work to do. Just think about the average. What use have they for you? Another toy will help destroy the elder race of man.
Just seems so angry.
Forget about your silly will. It doesn't fit the plan.
See, I don't know how he didn't think that was exactly how that was going to go. That was always going to go that way. And it was crazy after that young boy who I don't have a name for him. So I'm going to call him Alan. It's crazy that Alan thought that he was just going to turn up here and go, by the way, I've just found this guitar in a cave. I've been playing it for about 10 minutes. Listen to this though. Dang, like, just like, look, see, look. You know, guys, listen. You know, I think that the public should get to hear that. And he thought that they were just going to go, aye, Alan, that sounds really good, son. Like, fucking no chance. It's a wee joke. It's just a wee joke, guys. Here's the thing though, right? So it's like, I went on a big rant earlier on about fascist societies. And turns out every single thing that I thought this song was about, I'm 100% right. And I don't want to say that I'm a genius, right? I will let you guys say that for me in the comments below. Because I am. Everybody was like, you're not going to understand 2112. Look at me. Understanding the utter living fuck out it. I've smashed it, guys. Smashed it. Right, we've got hunters to go yet. Let's keep going. Alan's angry. The priests are angry. Geddy's voice is not going to calm down again. Everything sounds phenomenal. That's just, the guitar solo is fucking mental. The bass has gone off its tits. That's mental. Yes. Yes. That's how it should be. Oh, his dream has been ruined. The amount of fucking reverb on that. That's crazy. It's like he's playing for the very back of a concert hall.
Wandered home through silent streets and fell into a fitful sleep. Escaped to realms beyond the night. Dream, can't you show me light?
Oh god, here we go.
I stand atop a spiral stair, and Morocco confronts me there. He leads me on light years away through astral nights, galactic days. I see the works of gifted hands that grace the strange and wondrous land. I see the hands of men rise with hungry mind and open eyes. They left our planets long ago. The elder race still learn and grow. Their power grows with purpose strong to claim the home where they belong. Home to tear the temples down. Home to change.
We're gonna get a revolution, baby. Through music. Also, can I just point out, by the way, that again, this is not one song. Very definite. There's very definite breaks in this fucking song. Just, there's definite breaks, right? In case he doesn't sing this, I have not left this cave for days now. It has become my last refuge in my total despair. I have only the music of the waterfall to comfort me now. I can no longer live under the control of the Federation, but there is no other place to go. My last hope is that with my death I may pass into the world of my dream and know peace at last. So he's fucked off back to the cave in a mood. And he's like, I'm just going to sit here to a D and then fuck everyone he is. So he's in a mood, basically. Which is reasonable. Reasonable. I can imagine, right, having seen that video of Alex when he was 17, greeting and gunning like a wee bitch to his parents because his parents were being like, you need to get a job, and him going, I don't want to support my child. I just want to go and live in the back of a van and play music, guys. That he is the kind of person where if they turned around and went, listen, can you just write us like a 4-minute long fucking song that can go in the record, please? He would go, I'm going to go and live in a cave until I die. Sorry, I'm joking. What's it all about, eh?
The sleep is still in my eyes. The dream is still in my head. I heave a sigh and sadly smile and lie a while in bed.
Nice.
I wish that it might come to
I have given Geddy a lot of shit for his vocals. A lot of shit. But the way his tone when he sings I Wish That It, legitimately beautiful.
smile and lie a while in bed.
This is beautiful.
I wish that it
It's the chord change that goes with it.
come to pass,
Jesus
not
Christ.
fade like all my dreams. I wish that it might come to pass,
Beautiful.
not fade like all my dreams. Just think of what my life might be in a world like I have seen. I don't think I can carry on this cold and empty life.
See, I don't, right. I don't know that I like that. Purely because they have done a very, very good job so far in juxtaposing the high screechy vocals as the priest and this nice soft vocals as Alan. To then have Alan doing the high screechy vocals mixes the message, and I don't like it. I get like musically it fits and everything, but it doesn't fit narratively, and I feel like with the amount of attention to detail that they've put into this song, which is clearly fucking loads, then that's an oversight. And you can argue with me about it in the comments all you want. You can tell me that I'm wrong as much as you want. I fully think that him singing like that when he's in the mindset of Alan shouldn't have happened. He should have sung that bit less hysterically, I think. And I get no everybody's going to agree with that. The guitar work in this is
My spirits are low in the depths of despair. My lifeblood spills over.
see right there. He's singing loud and kind of thingy, but it's no like screechy. It's not got the angry edge to it. It's more kind of plaintive and pleading and emotional, and that fits. You know what I mean? It's literally just the fact that it had a wee bit of, like, I had a wee bit too much grit on the previous vocal that I don't feel like that was right. Maybe they should have redone that take. But like there, if he delivered it like he sings "My Lifeblood Spills Over," that's ideal. That's the perfect vocal style for what he's trying to get across in this moment. There, beautiful. Like that's fucking beautiful. Yes. Fucking yes. Well, listen, that was 2112. Better than I thought it was going to be. That was better than I thought it was going to be. But you know what we're going to do, right? We're not going to sit here and talk about it in this kind of way that we normally would speak about the song after we have listened to it. What we're going to do is we're going to speak about the pros and cons of the songs through the various scoring methods that we've got, and then we're going to come up with a score at the end of it. So, the first bit we're going to go for guitar wankery. Now, here's what I'm going to say, right? I have been no dismissive of Alex Lifeson, but I did say he was the weakest member of the band. I did. And by the way, when I'm saying guitar wankery, what I actually mean is just instrument wankery. You know what I mean? I'm using guitar wankery because it's a American colloquial term that everybody knows what I'm meaning, but it's getting aimed at the bass and the drums as well, and synth. So it's just about how absolutely fucking batshit crazy was their playing in that song. And here's what I'm going to say, right? The bass was, for Rush, fairly standard. Like, it was really, really complex and complicated and everything, but you know, it's fucking Geddy Lee. I expect that. Neil Peart's drumming, I thought, was really complex, but also not flashy. But I mean that in a really good way. Like, he never played anything that didn't suit what was happening in the song. There was no parts where I went, he's just did that for the sake of fucking doing that to try and show off. and it's kind of ruined that bit. He was always in the pocket, and he was always doing what serviced the song, but in a way that was really fucking technical and really interesting. There was passages like that last riff where his drumming turned that from being like a cool riff into an absolutely standout moment of the track. The guitar work was amazing. Some of the things that he was doing with that guitar was absolutely exceptional, and it made me completely redefine in my head what I thought of Alex as a guitarist. Like, I had him down as being really, really good, but that's put him into like actual upper echelons of guitar work. It's legitimately that fucking good. So for guitar wankery, it's gonna score. I'm gonna go a 9. I'm gonna go a 9, and I'm only going a 9 and no a 10 because, and you're gonna disagree with me here, but whatever. Because I've heard Francis the Mute by the Mars Volta, and for me, that's the pinnacle of instrumentation. And as good as Rush is, it's not as complicated or as intrinsically fucking beautiful as Francis the Mute, and therefore it's a 9. And I don't want to hear anything more about it, right? Harmonic complexity. So, the whole point of harmonic complexity is how much, like, so how many different things was in there, because I've said before that Rush are fairly guilty of taking like a 3-minute long song and turning it into a 6-minute long song by just repeating the same section for 4 minutes when they didn't really have to. And I was concerned when I got a 20-minute long Rush song that they were going to spend 10 minutes playing the same riff over and over again, and it was going to be absolutely ridiculous. But they didn't. What they've done is take the idea of like a classical suite and turn it into hard rock, which I feel worked really, really well in their favour. There was never a particular period of time where anything outside its welcome. Things were always changing. And it wasn't even so much that they were changing riffs and stuff, because a lot of the time they'll change a riff, but dynamically it stays the exact same. It was the dynamics were shifting constantly. It was going soft, it was going loud. It kept shifting between the two. And I think a big part of it, what helped that was that he had like different levels of intensity with his singing, depending on which character he was in the point of view of and stuff like that. So that kept it really interesting. So I'm going to actually say that for harmonic complexity, I've got this the wrong way around. It was no, I haven't. It was ripping the piss, but ripping the piss is actually a very good thing. So I'm going to get a 10, because for the length of song, that didn't feel like a 20-minute long song at any point. That was actually quite a comfortable, easy listen, and was quite really well developed and different all the way through. So yeah, it's gonna a 10. Which leads me nicely actually to song length versus boredom. Now, the whole point of that is like how bored was I depending on the length of the song. And the length of the song was, I mean, it was 20 minutes, so that's pretty fucking long. So it's gone to about an 8, because I know that there are longer songs in that. And then, but I wasn't bored. So so it's about an 8. This scale doesn't make any sense, by the way, right? And I know that none of this really makes any sense, but that's just something that we need to just shop and deal with, basically. It's got an 8 for song length, right? And then for there, we go to conceptual boldness, right? Which is the idea of the song and how well they've executed the overarching idea of the song. And that's why we're listening to the intros before the start of the song to get an idea of what the idea of the song is so that we can then score this. So me going into it knowing that basically the entire thing was they were under pressure and they felt constrained by the record label and decided that rather than bowing down to the demands of the record label, they were going to just go and write an absolute fucking massive epic. And then the story for that epic became an allegory for the internal struggles that they were going through. But then they've also went and decided through their love of 70s sci-fi to go and extrapolate that into this massive tale of fascism and like the beauty of music and the beauty of following a dream. Then they've managed to get a 20-minute long song out of that where they're telling, where the lyrics are the perspective of characters and telling the story, etc., etc. I want to say conceptually very, very bold, very bold, and it's going to go up here, which you can't tell because I didn't put any numbers on that, but that's a 10 because they've executed what they want to do pretty perfectly, I would say. So that's like I like their idea. I like the execution of the idea. I think that other than that one wee moment that I spoke about during the song, where I feel like his vocal stylings didn't fit the rest of the overarching story that he was trying to tell. But I'm not gonna knock points off for that because it was literally like 2 lines of singing. Yeah, that's a 10. And then we get to fan base participation. And this is the one that I warned you about at the start of the video, where basically, if you had preemptively annoyed me, then this was going to fuck you over royally. And unfortunately, some of you have been right cunts. So, there. That's where Rush lands there, which is like a 2. It's a 2, and I'm sorry about it, guys, but you have been mean in the comments. You have been off, I mean. And there's loads of times where you just actively disagree with what I'm saying, which is a crazy thing to go and do on my channel. So I'm scoring you a 2 out of 10 for that. And really what that suggests to me is that the main takeaway for this is that Rush are actually a fantastic band, and 2112 is an absolutely groundbreaking achievement in prog rock music. It's unfortunately let down by the fans making you know that. Like, they need you to know that. It's a bit like, see how like the idea of veganism is really, really good? But vegans totally turn you off the idea of being vegan. It's that. Rush fans are the vegans of the music world. Just saying. And I fucking love steak. So, that's a problem, isn't it? Hey guys, that was 2112 by Rush. Let me know in the comments below. Did I understand the song? Did I get it right? Like, is there anything that I missed? Is there anything that you want to push back on with what I've said there? What is the... Right, hold on a second. We need to actually stop. What is the overall score? I'll need to edit this wee bit out. I've completely forgot what the overall score is. We scored it right. So it's 9, 19, 27, 37, 39. So guys, 2112 by Rush, it scored 39 out of a possible 50. That's a pretty good score, right? Let down by yous, guys. It totally let down by yous, guys. It's an absolute shame. It's a shame. It's a travesty, in fact. Travesty. That's one challenge that entered the ring. Now comes the next challenger. The next challenger is Yes, with their song Close to the Edge. We're going to go in, we're going to watch this wee intro video to see what the fuck this song's all about, and then we'll take it from there.
There was a point in doing Close to the Edge where I'd written a lot of the song shape with Steve, but I wanted an intro, you know, and the guys had been jamming away. I remember walking and this jam was happening, and I said, are we recording this? We're not? Why not?
Right. A lot of times it's like that. Hey, Jerry, did you get that? No. Did you want me to record? I'm like, well,
yeah. Oh, yeah. So I said, okay. I just felt the vibe you were playing before. You know, it's kind of it was like a charging energy. What I want you to do is come in like you're halfway through it. And they looked at me and Bill said, what do you mean? Come in like you're halfway through the solo, not start a solo. Come in like you're right. Like that. Okay. What key? I said, I don't care. Just do it, okay? So they started off, and it was, I remember Steve playing, and they're playing away, and we're recording it. I'm saying, okay, stop. Okay, you need to stop in the middle. And Bill said, well, what do you mean, just stop? I said, yeah. I said, why? Because I'm going to do a vocal thing that goes, da, 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 da.
Right.
And they say, well, where do you want to stop? I said, well, actually, I have a tape recording of Steve playing this. You played yesterday. You were playing it in a solo. And it's you're going to stop there, Bill. Okay, John.
Did you think you were just crazy?
I don't care. I just knew that it would work. So I said, okay, remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so as soon as you hear Steve play that riff, stop. So Steve's doing his, and I look over at Steve and he says, not yet. And he went, you know, it's like, that was it. It was the idea of remembering that I had something on tape that could fit that moment, because I couldn't have thought that up. I just had to remember. I remember hearing it on the tape I had.
Yeah.
And so that whole experience of the 70s was based on a lot of work like that.
Okay. So. Right, so on the one hand, right, you've got Rush, who were in a really desperate place in their life, both financially and emotionally, and decided to channel all of that into this absolute fucking opus where it was blood, sweat and tears, and they poured everything into it, and they were like, this is either going to make us or break us, but this is our last hurrah. This is basically, we stand up and we fucking fight. And then in the other corner, you've got Yes, who were just dicking about in the studio, and a guy come in and went, got a fucking great idea, lads. Why don't we just start the song right bang smack in the fucking middle, and then I'll go, wait. What the fuck? Well, we know who's scoring highly for conceptual boldness. We know who's not. Fucking mental. Oh, that's unbelievable. I thought that was going to be a lot more informative than it was, but what has actually happened is it's an absolute fucking nonsense. Turns out they had no planning for this song in the slightest. That is mental. But hey, that's fine. Let's go in and listen to it. Although I don't feel like I need to listen to it because he did pretty much just enact that entire thing vocally. It's gonna. I know that at one point it's gonna go and yeah. So I mean that's pretty much the song right there. Buckle in, lads. Close to the Edge by Yes. In the distance, we see the Arctic fox. Sorry. Okay. What the fuck is happening? Yes. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna give him. That was cool. That was cool. That was an absolutely psychotic intro. Like, that was fucking that. That was mental. But the minute you hear that wee riff, yeah, that was nice. I like that. Okay, that was fucking mental. But I'm hoping it calms down at some point because I kind of listened to 20 minutes of that. I just don't have it in me. It's not a thing that's gonna fucking happen. That's so cool. Holy fuck. Ah, right, okay. The entire opening bit of that was utter fucking lunacy. Like, complete and utter lunacy. The fact that it occurred to him to stop it right in the middle to do a wee is actually genius. It's one of the inspired moments of genius that you can't really put your finger on why it's happened. Like, even he's not 100% sure why it occurred to him to do it. But when it works, it really fucking works. Like, that's actually genius. And then that wee melodic lead line or that part just there was gorgeous. Yeah. So much going on. I can't drink this in. It's fucking mental. They need to give me some singing soon just to kind of calm it. Because this is alright. Right, I can take this. I'm gonna say it now. My favourite bit of that bit, the bass line. That bass line is so weird, and it's not even close to the bass line that I would have played over that section. It's just weird. It's listen to this. I don't know if I wanted it to be. This is cool. This feels almost reggae.
Getting over all the time I had to worry, leaving all the changes far from far behind. We relieve the tension only to find out the master's name. Down at the edge, round by the corner, close to the edge, just by the river.
The timing's so weird. I haven't got a fucking clue what he's singing about, right? I can't make out a bastard word of what he's saying. All I'm hearing is now and again, close to the edge. And you know what? I don't care. I don't care. Because I feel like, judging from that video that I watched earlier on, he doesn't care either. So if he's not giving a fuck, Why should I? I'm just here to hear if the song's pretty or not at this point, and I'll tell you, it's very pretty. It's very pretty. The harmonies are absolutely fucking delightful. The bass playing is just weird. The bass playing is weird. Oh, the timings are weird. Like it feels like is Rick Wakeman in this band at this point? Because there's a whole section there where he just sat and hit the one key, just mental for the full thing, just do. And I'm like, mate, there's more. Unless you've got a broken keyboard, you could have hit more than one key. Just, but you know, fine. You do what you need to do, son. That's absolutely up to you. It fitted. It was all right. It's fucked at this point, right? I don't know what the song's about. I don't care what the song's about. It's just extremely pretty. It's an extremely pretty song.
Sudden cold shouldn't take away the startled memory. All in all, the journey takes you all the way. As apart from any reality that you've ever seen and known. Guessing problems only to deceive nation. Passing past the climb halfway into the void. As we cross from the
Yeah, so that's a hang, right? So that's a hang that I had noticed, Dom, right? I didn't really want to come out and say it because it is angry me, right? As much as I'm loving most of this, they are veering ska, right? And if they veer any closer, because they are close to the edge. If they go any closer, I'm pinning it off, right? I made a firm rule at the start of this channel. Ska is not going on this channel. And if they fucking try and sneak it in by me, that band is then banned. And the person that gives me that band is then banned. Nae ska.
guessing problems only to deceive the nation. Passing past the climb halfway into
It's getting close.
As we cross from side to side, we hear the total mass retain. Down at the edge, round by the corner.
That was so good.
Down by the river. Seasons will pass you by. Get up, get down.
Right, so here's what I think this song's about at the moment, right? And you can tell me in the comments below if I'm wrong, how close I get. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get close. But let me know, right? So as far as I'm aware, this song is telling the story of two school children around the age of, say, maybe say 13, 14. They're walking home from school and one of the boys dares the other boy. It basically is like, I bet you can't jump over that hedge. And then the boy's like, of course I can jump over that hedge. It's only about like 2 feet high. And he's like, I'll give you a tenner if you can jump over that hedge, big man. So then the other boy, because he wants a tenner, goes and jumps over the hedge, but he doesn't realise he's been tricked by his pal. His pal didn't think he was going to go ahead and actually do it. His pals went, jumped over the hedge, but that hedge was at the edge of a cliff, right? And knew that boy is plummeting to his death in this song. So like the start of the song when it was all chaotic and everything, that's him jumping over the hedge. And now all of this song is the seconds between him clearing the hedge and getting absolutely crumpled like a thrown like like imagine like a lasagna getting thrown against a shop window, right? That's what his body's going to be like on the rocks below in about 3 seconds time. But in that passage of time of him falling, this is his final thoughts, and it's him ruminating on the regrets of his life and thinking about like how society betrays the poor and how religion causes separation more than unity, and about how like if we all just banded together as people, then we could probably solve all the world's ills and and be a better society. But we're never gonna do that because it's inherently in human nature to be warlike. I think that's what the song's about. He's getting close to the first rock. See, this is him falling. Air's rushing. That's beautiful, by the way. Like, actually beautiful. That bass synth is making this sound really sad. The water drops are symbolic of the way that his body is dropping. But it's also about how hopes fall. That's
I get up.
He's hit the rocks. That's stunning.
I get down, I get up, I get down.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but that melody is very nice. It's very nice, and the bit where he was singing that, but all the other voices were singing their parts in the background as well, and it was all kind of like muddied together a bit, and it just fucking smashed me right in the feels. Like, I was expecting like complexity of music, and I was expecting some bits to be pretty, but I wasn't expecting it to be so emotionally charged and to actually like emotionally move me. I got like proper goosebumps through that entire section. So then I had to puncture it with a joke, obviously, because, you know, it's me. But that was genuinely beautiful. And I've been using that word a lot, right, for both songs. But I don't know how else to describe it. I guess there's a lack of vocabulary happening there. But it just, I don't know, it got me in the feels. It was so, like, ethereal and pretty and kind of like it takes you outside yourself. I don't know how else to explain that. I don't want to go as wanky as saying it was like an out of body experience. But kinda. In a non-pretentious wanky way. I don't know. It was that bit just really got me. It was aye.
I get down, I get up, I get down.
I'm not going to a church. I'm not going to no church. I'm going to Islam. I told you this. Turns out I do like an organ. I do like an organ. Oh, here comes Wakeman. Working it for his art. Okay. that bass line.
Time between the notes relates the color to the scenes. A constant golden triumphs dislocate man, so it seems. And space between the focus shape, I send knowledge of love. A song and chant develop time, the social temperance rules above. Then according to the man who showed his outstretched arms to space, he turned around and pointed, revealing all the human race. I shook my head and smiled and whispered, knowing all about the grace. On the hill we view the silence of the valley, thought to witness cycles only of the past. And we reach all this with movements in between the sun and earth. Close to the edge, down by the rainbow. Down at the end, down by the corner. Seasons will pass you by. Now that it's all over and done, go to the sea, right to the sun. Now that you're home, now that you're home. Seasons will pass you by. I get up, I get
Jesus fuck. And then we've got the obligatory 30 seconds of it absolute push at the end because the song's finished, but they just felt like, let's drag it out a wee bit. Running down the clock at this point. I think they were just waiting, trying to get to the end of the record. Right, guys, that was Close to the Edge by Yes. That was an experience. Alright. Much like we did with Rush, we're going to go in through the 5 categories, we're going to score it, we're going to see at the end of the 5 categories what the total score is, how that stacks up against Rush to remind people in case they've forgotten, because, you know, attention spans these days are piss poor. Rush has a score of 39. 39 is what Yes needs to beat in order to win this season's Prog Party. So, let's start. We've got Guitar Wankery, which, as I had discussed at the start of this scoring period, is not just based on the guitar, it is based on every instrument and how they utilise those instruments to wank. So, where does Yes run under that? Well, that's a 10, because that was fucking nuts. That was absolutely batshit crazy from start to finish. And when I'm saying from start, I mean from the fucking start. The intro was insanity. Like, absolutely unfucking hinged. And the fact that they managed to even tame the intro into getting into some semblance of a song is astonishing in its own right. Every instrument was at its peak. Every instrument. The bass was playing some of the weirdest fucking bass lines that I've heard for a bass player. The synth work was good, right? The synth work was really good, but particularly the organs were just very much transcendental. The vocals, the harmonies were, I mean, they're always good, but they were particularly on fine form throughout this song. The guitar work was fucking nuts. The drums was absolutely nuts. I reckon the drums is the only part where I think Rush possibly had the edge on Yes over these two songs. I do think that Neil Peart's drumming was better in 2112 than what the drums was in Yes. But I think the guitars were pretty much equally matched, but in different ways. So like Alex Lifeson was doing a lot more kind of shredding and then hard rock riffage, whereas the melodic noodling of the guitar work in Yes was a different style of guitar playing, but equally as fucking pretty and equally as intricate. And I think the bass playing in Yes wasn't as technically difficult as the bass playing in Rush, but for sheer invention it's equal. And I think the singing in Yes was better than Rush. I'm not counting the synths in that because that would be unfair to Rush, but the singing was better, and so it's a 10 and Rush is a 9. Harmonic complexity, right? So here's what I'd say, right? I was saying about like the kind of various amounts of sections and blah 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 blah, right? And I would say that actually Yes had less individual sections than Rush. They repeated sections for longer than Rush. And so for that, I'm actually going to score it an 8. Because it did have like it was like really complex, but they went back on themselves, and therefore it's not quite on the same level as Rush, who basically did like a classical suite. You know what I mean? It's not quite the same, so for that reason it goes to there. Song length versus boredom, I'm gonna score it the same as Rush. It's gonna get an 8 because same reasons really. There's longer songs and it didn't bore me like at all. So the exact same reasons gets the exact same score. And then conceptual boldness, right? So here's the problem, right? Here's the problem that we've got here. Is that I'm basing this on the video where they explained what the song was about. And he just was like, oh, we just went and fuck it and just strung some shit together as far as I can figure it. And the fact that, like, I mean, some of these ideas were really cool. Like, pausing that solo halfway through to do the wee vocal thing, that was a genius fucking idea. The bit where they stopped to go and have that organ section with the vocals, which absolutely blew my fucking mind, that's beautiful. So, I'm not gonna, like, say that there was no conception to the song. Like, there clearly was, but it wasn't anything like as thought as Rush's. So I'm going to score it there, which is like a 6. And I think that's fair, because I don't, like, I'm only going based on what I know. And from what I can tell, they didn't really go into writing it with a clear idea or a clear kind of like vision of this. There was no stakes involved. There was no like follow through vision right from start to finish. It was basically, we just want to write a song, and they just went wild and wrote it, and it's turned out to be really fucking good. But you know, I don't know if there was like a fully formed idea at the start of it, because he never said that. He basically made it as if it was kinda just putting shit together as it came to him. So 6. Then in terms of the fan bass participation, going from lovely buggers to right cunts, I'm gonna say yes is about there. Because they've been lovely. They've been lovely. Right? Yes has scored a 9 for that. Right? That's just the way that is. So all in, adding all that up, right, that means that Close to the Edge scored 41. If you remember rightly, Rush scored 39, which means that yes, have beaten Rush. But here's what I'll say, right? Like, yes, won the Prog Party. Close to the Edge is the better of the two prog rock songs. Some of you are going to argue that Rush isn't prog rock and it's hard rock, whatever. I don't care. You can argue whatever you want. The results are in, it's scientific, and it is what it is, right? But here's what I'll say. That was extremely close and significantly closer than I thought it was going to be. Because 2112 was miles better than I expected it to be. Like, miles better than I expected. Like yes was really, really good, but that was like, I'm kind of like, that was like, yes, it was fairly not standard yes. You know what I mean? Whereas that for Rush, that is a step above what I expect from Rush. Like, a significant fucking step. That was crazily impressive. But yeah, that was beautiful. For both bands. And both bands should be proud of themselves. Listen, I don't want Rush to feel bad. You should be proud of yourself, pal. Yous did well, right? Yous lost it by a whisker. As what it is. Let me know in the comments below, guys, what ones did you think should win? Why did you think it should win? Is there any parts of the scoring that you disagreed with? If so, put it in the comments below. Let's have a discussion about it. Let me know what you think. If you've got this far into the video, kudos to you, because it's quite a long video. If you've enjoyed the video up to this point, feel free to leave it a wee like, maybe subscribe to the channel if you want to. If you're interested in doing more of these prog parties, we're going to do more of these prog parties. My thinking is pitting Pink Floyd against Genesis. If that's something that you would be interested in doing, then here's how you go about doing that. You come over to twitch.tv/markabusi reactions. When I'm streaming, give me Pink Floyd songs, give me Genesis songs. You can also, I'm now opening up the queue, so you can request songs through Buy Me a Coffee. Now, here's the rules for that. You're allowed one request. Once I have done your request and it is up on the channel, you can then request another song. I'm limiting it to one request per person so that I don't get completely fucking flooded by just hundreds and hundreds of requests. If you put the request up, you have to understand that I work full time and I do this in my spare time as a hobby. I will get to them when I can, but it's not always possible to get to them very quickly, so you kind of need to be patient with me. If you want to request a song, you go to buymeacoffee.com/markabusi, and when you request it, so it's like 5 coffees to purchase a reaction. When you have, if you could make the song less than 6 minutes, so that I can get it recorded and edited and put it up on YouTube, because it takes me time to do that, and then leave a link in the comment for what you're putting in, with the name of the band and what the song is, and a link to the actual video. That'd be great. If you want that, that's an option for you. Or come to Twitch and request it when I'm live streaming. I've been markabusi, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.